So just grateful once again to be able to come back together and explore mindfulness and meditation and how to try to be a little more, not try, but how to be more at ease in the world by just paying attention to see what leads to stress, what leads away from stress. And hopefully we'll have enough wisdom to incline towards the less stress. So thanks for joining me. We'll start out as we often do with just a grounding meditation, just to fully arrive from all the clicking and the looking at screens and everything. It's a chance to just kind of let go of all that and whatever was happening before you tuned in. And a chance to come inward. This is our own investigation. This is our gift to ourselves to see what's going on in this mind and this body. So the bell is going to invite us to transition. So with the fading of the bell, we're letting go of all the arriving and the external, paying attention and turning the attention inwards to this mind, this body, closing the eyes if you're comfortable or just having a soft gaze, not looking around. And inviting the body to feel the grounding of the support of your chair or your couch or the floor, whatever it is that you're sitting or standing on, being supported by. Just feel the solidity of that, the support. And from that base of support, of groundedness, inviting the spine to be long in whatever way that makes sense to you, to bring some energy to the spine, which brings alertness to the mind. But it's not a rigid alertness, it's just awakenedness, an extension, any amount. But also have a sense of relaxation. You're not trying hard to do anything, we're just inviting this possibility. Being grounded, alert, and relaxed. We can just check in to notice how it is right here, right now. How is it? What's the mood of the mind? And we're not judging it, we're just noticing how it is. What's the overall energy of the body? Is it feeling restless? Is it feeling sleepy, lethargic? Is there agitation or a pain somewhere? Or is it just calm and relaxed? Whatever it is, just noticing generally how the body is. And you could even do a quick body scan just to check in, just to notice if there's any tension or where there's relaxation. So maybe starting just at the top of the head, the face, just noticing any sensation there. Is there tension in the eyes or the jaw? Moving down into the neck, is there relaxation there? Or is there some tension? Shoulders, how are they? The upper arms, lower arms, down into the fingers. Where is there tension? Where is there relaxation or ease? We don't try to do anything, we just notice how it is. My hands, the fingers are like this. Maybe the right and the left are different, we can notice that. So these subtle things, maybe you can start to pay attention to as signals of how the body is. And then leaving the awareness from the hands, moving back up the arms to the shoulders. Once again, are they same or different? And from the shoulders, moving down into the back, the middle back, the lower back, noticing if there's any tension. or if there's relaxation or no sensation, we can notice that. And down into the hips. What's the sensation there? Maybe contact with the chair. Is there tension or relaxation in the hips? Not trying to change, just noticing. Then moving down into the legs, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. Noticing sensation there, or a lack of sensation. Just bring the awareness down into the feet, the toes. And then bring the awareness back up in the front of the ankles, the shins, back up to the knees, the thighs, the hips, into the lower belly, noticing if there's any sensation there. Is there ease? Or is there tension or discomfort? The lower belly. Or no sensation. Maybe there's no feeling there. We can notice that too. Maybe we feel the belly rise and fall with each breath. Or not. Noticing that. And moving from the belly up to the middle chest, the upper chest and heart. Is there any sensation there? Tension, relaxation, movement in the upper chest, the heart. And moving from there up into the throat area, back up into the head. Noticing if the jaw and the eyes are the same as they were before or not. And noticing the breath at the tip of the nose, maybe in the throat or the chest or the belly. Or maybe it's just a sensation of the body breathing, of receiving energy, letting go energy. How do you experience the breath in this body in this moment? What does breathing in feel like? Is it a physical sensation or just an energetic receiving? And what's the exhale feel like? Is it a sensation or just a sense of letting go, release? And we tune into the energy, the overall feeling tone of this body breathing. Is it relaxed or is there tension? And if there is some tension, not trying to fix it, but just noticing it and just inviting the possibility of relaxation. Any amount. You can notice if the energy of the breath seems to be pushing us around, creating some kind of tension in the mind and the body, or if the breathing, the rhythm of it maybe invites relaxation, just feeling that coming and going, receiving, letting go. How does that feel in this body, this mind? You would be aware of each in-breath, of each out-breath, and maybe even the pause in between. Can we be interested in this simple process of the body breathing? Or maybe the mind's wandered off, or gone to sleep, or it's thinking. We can notice that too. Notice the effect on the mind and the body. when we lose touch with how it is right in this body, right here, right now. And then bring the awareness back to the sense of the body breathing. Breathing in is like this. Breathing out is like this. Receiving, letting go. Not resisting, not wanting. Just this mind observing this body breathing, however you perceive it. What does that feel like as an energy in the body? And as a thought energy, as a mood, or as a feeling? Is it pleasant? Is it unpleasant? Is there stress? No stress? This mind observing this body breathing in, breathing out. Can we be content with this? Or is there some kind of other energy wanting something more interesting? Maybe not wanting a certain sensation in the breath or the body. And can we just notice what the mind's aware of? How it's responding to or receiving that awareness. Is it okay or is it not okay? We don't have to change it, we just notice the habits in the mind. And we be content, just resting, watching, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Can we be content with this? Or is the mind and body pushed around by wanting or not wanting something? And if we do feel that energy of wanting or not wanting, we just notice that, notice how it feels, and then return our awareness back to the breath. Can we be okay with this body breathing? Receiving, letting go. Receiving, letting go. It's happening all the time. Can we notice this body breathing? Can we notice how it can tell us about whether we feel okay or not okay? And can we just be aware of that, be in the middle of it, and invite the possibility of ease or relaxation in the middle of whatever's happening? Not being pushed by wanting or not wanting. And notice if it can just move on its own, if there's a not wanting. It's like this right now, in this moment. This body breathing, this mind aware of what's happening in each moment. This is our practice, moment to moment. So the bell invites us to bring the awareness back up to the surface from this deep body awareness or wherever it's gone. And just reflect a little on what your experience was, what you may have noticed. Did you were you able to stay with being present with the body, or was the mind wandering? And if it was, not judging, just maybe where did it go? To sleep, to thinking, or wherever. And then letting that go and coming back to just being aware of being together here. So some of what I invited in that grounding meditation relates to what I thought I might share this week. This past week, I've really been watching the tendency of my mind and then therefore my body being pushed around by stuff. Whether it's what's on the news or what somebody says, or all of a sudden I find myself at the refrigerator wanting to get in the freezer and get ice cream. It's like, how do I even wind up here? Like we're pushed around by old habits or reactivity or just a restlessness wandering from one room to the next, thinking what I want might be in this next room, or this next phone call that I might make, or the next thing that's on the tablet or whatever, just feeling that the habit energy of the mind or in interactions with other people, feeling my emotions getting pushed around by what I perceive in other people. And really needed to keep coming back to the mindfulness of what's really happening here, rather than getting pushed into some kind of reactivity. Just bringing the awareness back to like what's going on and how is that affecting me. Sometimes these things that happen, like it's actually, even though I wasn't initially aware of it, it's okay, like nothing needs to happen. But sometimes I've whipped myself up into a frenzy about something, and then when I do the mindfulness check, it's like, well, that was kind of a waste of energy. That I got pulled into that, or that I felt like I had to do this when there really wasn't a need for it. So just watching myself being pushed around, and I think we all tend to do this, whether it's not liking a sensation in our body, that we perceive as pain, and needing to do something, who can I call to get, medication to take care of this, or whatever, or who can I talk to make me feel better when I'm feeling kind of alone or whatever. All of this needing to do something, where sometimes it's just a fleeting movement of the mind or the body that if we don't hold on to it, it would just move on its own. But a lot of times when we notice the not liking or the needing to, rather than just noticing the effect, we feel like we have to jump in and do something about it. And so it's just really noticing, what's really happening? What's the effect? Is this really a big deal or not? And do I need to do something? Because I found this past week, I was wasting a lot of energy doing stuff that didn't really need to be done. And the older I get, the less energy I have to waste. So that's why I thought this might be interesting. And no matter where you're at in life, we all have this, we feel like we're too busy. Well, if we start noticing the habit energy of our busyness, do I really need to do all these things, or are there some things I can let go? And there was actually a really interesting hidden brain episode on this about the benefits of doing less, which is totally countercultural, right? We're always supposed to be doing more and more and more, whereas they're saying doing less actually is really beneficial. There's more space around it, there's more clarity, and that's a lot of what we talk about in our mindfulness here. So that's what I thought I might invite to explore in this the next meditation, is just, we set an intention to be with a meditation object, and we did some of that in the body scan and the breath awareness that I just guided, so we set an intention to notice something, a specific object, and then the mind sometimes stays there, but sometimes goes off and does something else, and we can notice where it goes off to, what's the habits of it, and whether that's helpful or not. Or even being aware of the meditation object, noticing our relationship to it. Is it boredom and thinking we need to have more, or is there contentment there? But really, this allows us to hone our skills of mindfulness, which one of the guys in the prison sessions that I would lead, he called mindfulness his superpower. Like, from being pushed around by his normal reactivity, his mindfulness allowed him to stop being pushed around and really know what was going on. And then he gained a superpower of being able to do what he wanted rather than his normal patterns of reactivity. And I think we've all seen that happen, and we can watch it over and over again in a more subtle way in our meditation. But by noticing it here in meditation, we can take that out into the world when we're dealing with whatever's on the news or whatever person we're encountering or whatever physical discomfort we're having to deal with. So that's the exploration I'm going to invite in this next meditation, and just see what happens. Again, we're not trying to do anything or get anything. We're inviting curiosity and just noticing what leads to ease, what leads away from ease or calm, or stress or no stress. Like, that's the general question, and we're just watching cause and effect. So, and by doing this, we can notice what leads to calm, what leads away from calm, what allows us to know better about what our habits are, and allows us to rest more in that kind of middle ground of non-reactivity. So that's the theory. Let's see what actually happens when we meditate. So inviting you to take your meditation posture again, resting into your support, inviting uprightness or alertness, but also a sense of relaxation and interest. So balancing those three, closing the eyes or having a soft gaze. And again, we'll let the bell transition us into this introspective practice. So the fading of the bell again invites us to just bring the awareness inside, letting go of all the talking, the theorizing, and now noticing for ourselves, what's our direct experience? So how is it right now? In this mind, this body, is there ease? Is there restlessness? Is there sleepiness or collapsing? Just how is it? Are we resting just in an alert attention? Or are we already being pushed around by some kind of wanting, or restlessness, or leaning into something? Or is it collapsing, like losing energy? Can we just notice where there is like a calm centeredness anywhere in the mind or the body? And to do this, maybe we can recall what happened in the first meditation. Was there some place in the body or with the breath that you noticed ease? Can we rest the attention there? Maybe there's a place in the body, maybe the belly rising and falling with each breath, or maybe just the calming sense of the hands resting in the lap, or the rhythm of the breath. And if you don't have any place specific, I would say just maybe try just being with this process of breathing in, breathing out. This is just choosing your meditation object, setting the intention to stay with that object. And then we just notice what happens. Do we stay with it, or does the mind wander off? And if it does, what's it being pushed around by? So moment to moment, set your intention to be with your meditation object, whatever it is. Or if nothing else, choose the breath. Just be present with it in each moment. Observing, interested, curious. And noticing if the mind's still with the meditation object, or if it's wandered off thinking, planning, daydreaming, sleeping, whatever the mind's paying attention to. Notice what it's noticing, how that feels in the mind and the body. And then reset the intention to just be present with the meditation object. So we're training the mind to stay interested in one thing, not be pushed around. We're inviting it, going to be interested in this object, moment to moment, and then see what happens. Checking in to see what the mind's paying attention to, what the effect is on the mind and the body, whatever it is. Noticing if it's being pushed around or if it's resting just in being aware. Whatever, noticing what's happening. And then resetting the intention to come back to the meditation object. Redirecting the energy to be interested in this moment to moment experience of the mind with its meditation object, the body, the breath, whatever. Noticing what the mind's paying attention to right now, what the effect is on the mind and the body. there's a wanting or a not wanting, or is it just resting and observing? And can we just invite that observation from the meditation object? You don't have to do anything. There's no energy around having to do or get anything. Can we just be aware of this object, moment to moment, noticing if it's changing, noticing if there's any sense of ease or relaxation. If not, it's getting in the way. So returning to our meditation object and just observing how it is moment to moment. What is the mind paying attention to? How's the mind and the body responding to whatever that is? Is there some movement, a feeling that you need to do something? Just notice what that feels like. And then bring the awareness back to your meditation object, moment to moment. It's like this. And now it's like this. And now it's like this. Each moment. And am I being contented here, or is there an energy looking for something or wanting to disappear? The mind can just observe all this happening without needing to do anything. It's like this now. What is the mind paying attention to? What's the effect on the mind and the body? What can we learn from this? If the mind, maybe even in a subtle way, it's leaning in and wanting something more or wanting to get rid of something, or maybe you have a major storm going right now in the mind. I guess this has to change. Can we just notice that energy and just observe it? Let go of that compulsion to do and just get interested in what it feels like. Just watching, maybe it can move on its own, leaving a space or an ease behind it until the next thing comes. So can we return to our meditation object and just observe this process? Mind with each object, each moment, not doing anything, just observing. When this happens, this is the result. And maybe paying special attention to what results in ease. Maybe what feels like boredom is actually contentment or ease. Can we notice that too? So returning to the meditation object and just observing, see what happens, moment to moment. In this moment, what's the mind paying attention to? Is it just resting in that awareness of whatever it notices, or is it being pushed into wanting or wanting to get rid of? However subtle, we can notice these habits of the mind, moving with the energy of thoughts, of body sensations, moment to moment. We can notice if we can just rest in the middle, or if we feel the compulsion to do, just noticing how that feels. So seeing these habits in the mind and the body allows us to get to know ourselves better, see what leads towards stress and what leads towards ease, and hopefully inclining towards ease. This is our practice. So the bell is the invitation to bring the awareness back up to the surface again. Reflect a little bit on what you might have observed. Probably a number of different things happen during that meditation, just taking in what you might have learned. And then letting it go and just being aware of being here together again. So again, I mean, you learned from your experience whatever you just learned, right? I offered some suggestions, and then you got to see what actually happened during that meditation. And again, the theme was to notice when the mind was being pushed around by thoughts or physical sensations other than what we intended to pay attention to, right? And we can do this at this really subtle level in meditation, But the real interesting practice is when we're out in the world and noticing ourselves getting pushed around by all the wanting and the not wanting in the world too. So um, practice in this subtle way, but then take the attention out into our lives, because that's where the real drama happens, the real getting pushed around. And just notice if we can rest in the middle of that too, and decide, what do we really need to put our energy into and what can we just let go? So hopefully there was something that was beneficial today. You found something out about yourself or some way of practicing that was helpful. And if not, you can just let go of whatever wasn't helpful. So look forward to seeing you next time. So thanks again for being here. And if those who are here have any questions or comments, I'd be interested to hear from you.